picture is selling. Ooh, yeah. Told me if you're ever gonna find that one, make sure that she's beautiful inside. Cause you can't see the truth and no realness to her eyes. And if she gives you butterflies, butterflies, she's the kind that'll always be there by your side. Then listen to me now, I'm so deeply in love. I think I found the one to spoil with a lifetime support of kisses and hugs. I'm pretty sure I found the one. She's my moon, my star, my sun. She gives me life. Cause I'm in love, 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 love. Cause I'm in love, 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 love. Cause I'm in love, 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 love.
He knows me better than I know myself. I'm his one and only. Even though at times I can't help but to think that this was meant to be. It was destiny. You were my everything. I'm so deeply in love. I think I found the one to spoil with a license support of kisses and hugs. I'm pretty sure I found the one. He's my moon, my star, my sun. He gives me life.
Wake up in the morning, look at the beautiful sky. Got a beautiful woman by my side. She looks so fine. God blessed her with the perfect smile. Have fun just by passing time, looking in each other's eyes. Time flies by, just moving on back to day.
Lay my head upon his shoulder. I know that everything will be fine. I found my lifetime love now, and there's only one reason why.
Thank you, Mr. Spawn
Thank
Breezy.
you, Joe. Music. That's how we
Yes.
like it.
Oh,
Oh no, there's
no.
another good one. We might have to keep dancing, Brian.
No.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Come on, a little bit. Turn that louder. It's UB40, man. We've seen UB40 in concert several times. We love UB40. Where you could have been anything that you wanted.
Okay. Okay.
Alright. Alright, the way it is.
We have no permission from any of these bands to play any of their music because
But we love
we
you.
are using this for educational purposes only, right? Is that
Yes.
is that our reasoning today?
That's for commentary.
For
purposes.
commentary, okay. Mr. Spawn Breezy,
Mm-hmm.
what did you think of the music that was played by the band or the group or the person, or what did you think of?
I am a fan.
Okay,
That's all you need to know.
okay. That gets
Okay.
2 thumbs up.
Can we have it just a little bit in the background?
Sure,
Just to
why
keep the the vibe, the chill vibe.
I like that. They might. Okay, Mark Zuckerberg. He might listen to this though, and he might be going, "Is that? Do I hear copyrighted music playing in the background?"
It's one of his minions. Will shut us down probably.
Okay.
That's okay. We're here until we're not here. We're here, and then even when we're not here, we'll come
still
back.
here.
We'll come back with new identities. That's how we have to roll, man. You gotta have lots of fake.
Have you been working on your Russian?
Accent?
No. Oh, I saw it. Oh no. Don't make me do it.
Don't make me do my Russian accent, please.
No, please don't.
Please don't make me do it.
Oh no.
Brian, you want...
She will come back. I'm telling you. She will come back as a Russian bot or Russian something. She likes.
I don't know. We just watched
In
a lot
another
of...
world, Heidi likes to talk for like hours in a Russian accent.
I do. and my kids don't think anything of it. I speak to them in like a Russian accent all day long, and they they don't even bat an eye.
Okay, first of all, if this ever comes public, there are real Russians out there that'll be like, she's mocking us.
It's not funny to think about. And she finally said, "Mom, can you stop talking like that?" But it's just, I don't know. It was just fun to like, just be in character.
Oh no.
I don't know. I'm weird.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
weird.
I always knew you wanted to be an actor. I always knew you wanted to act.
It's just the playful child in me. I just I just play with my kids like that all the time. We always do stupid accents and make fun of the world.
And we all have names. We've given our kids Russian names.
They all have Russian names.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
All kidding aside, I'm sure it's a horrible accent that both of us have,
but it makes us laugh.
It came from this comedian, and the comedian is libtard as ever.
Well, that's not. Oh yeah.
It kind of did. It got.
Yeah, it started with Borat when we were watching a lot of Borat. Lots of Ali G when it first came out, his HBO special. We thought he was genius.
Yeah, if you can make me laugh, okay. This is the thing. If you can make me laugh, that is comedic genius. Okay, all that aside. Listen to this. We're talking about funny things right now, and we're talking about completely ridiculous things. And today was a serious day in the news, right? Pretty much so.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
let's
turn this down. I can't listen to this reggae. This is when we're talking about serious stuff
now.
now.
No, I understand totally.
Okay, leading up to this, I think it was like 3 days ago, the president gave a speech, and in that speech, he told us,
a lot of rich people are mad at me. I got a lot of enemies, basically.
A lot of enemies. You might not be seeing me around for a while. Isn't that what he said? You might not be seeing me around for a while. And so
all of us are like...
All of us like, Heidi and myself were like, oh my gosh.
Any QAnoners are out there going, what the heck? Why is he saying we're not going to see him? What does that mean? What does that mean? And then lo and behold...
So what did that mean to you? When you saw that he was...
So yeah, like as someone that's trying to analyze it, I thought that, okay, he's bluffing, appear weak when you're strong, the whole art of war thing. Like, I thought, what? Like, for him to be like, you might not see me for a while, to me, it was like him trying to play to the deep state. I don't know.
But even playing to the deep any way you
or
look
he
at
really
it,
was in danger and they wanted to keep him safe. I don't know.
So you have to look at it both ways, because that's the way it's being reported. And when I say it's reported, what's being reported? There's nothing. We watched the president say that. I was like, okay, he's gonna go in a bunker. I thought that. I did. I was like, I know that, even though all the things I know about what the president's doing, I was like, and I know that it's chess being played, but I was like, something's going on. So when we saw him the next day, because he said he was going to be around for a while, we saw him the very next day.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, that's interesting. And to me, that was kind of funny, because if it was like to confuse the deep state, moves and counter moves, like I was just like, that's kind of funny, because he just like, he acted like, and we all, I mean, when I say we all, it was tons of people like going, what the heck is Trump saying? Why is he mean? Where is he gonna go? And then for him to show up, just hang it up. Just hang it up.
Sorry, guys. It's live for you.
for him to what was I saying?
President Trump in his when he came out 24 hours later or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
after he told us, you know what, we're not gonna. He told us, I'm gonna be. You're not gonna see me around for a while, and he
Yeah,
comes
they
out
were
24 hours later.
showing
We're like, what the heck's going on? He didn't even. It wasn't announced. It wasn't scheduled. He had that, and he had that, and okay.
Okay, so
Okay, I got it
then
made. Looking at the way that was set up, if you look at that, if you look at the feed that we saw, and I think that's the main feed that we saw. I think it was a shared feed because that's the only video that I saw that I've seen of that press conference, and it wasn't from anywhere I'm familiar with. It was like a dark room, right?
yeah.
It was a dark room. Even the way the camera was angled, it was looking down at him at a strange angle, and there was a U.S. flag behind him, but it was coming out like out of his shoulder. So it was a total, like, if you're a camera guy, that's not a good shot. Like, I was like, what's this? You know, so whatever.
Did we
Whoever,
talk about that on our last live stream?
I don't know if
I don't
they did or
know.
not, but that's what I was thinking.
But-
What's
Then that was that in that same press conference. Is that when he talked about the blindness? Or was that the
No,
next day?
that was the very next day. So he
Okay.
had another press conference the following day. So again, 3 days ago, the president said, I'm not going to be around for a while. The following day, he has a press conference in a place that looked to me like it was a green screen. I thought it was a green screen. Okay, I didn't look into it. I just like looked at it with my eyes and said, hey, that looks, well, it was, to me, it was the lighting that was around the hair. When there was
Anyway, I don't know if that's important.
well, it is to me. I'm just
I
telling
didn't think it was a green screen. I thought it was just
Okay,
a TV reflection off his face.
Okay, and I work in broadcast television. That's she's laughing, but I'm not gonna. And who am I? I'm just a guy that is a camera operator and has been working in broadcast television for 18 years. I'm just
You
saying.
thought, okay.
I'm just saying. I looked at it and I didn't study it. No, I didn't look at it. I didn't look at all the copies. I didn't even look at it really close. I just said it looked kind of weird. The lighting on his hair and it was popping. It was the separation. You start looking at the colors. It's green chroma key, green screen, whatever you want to call it. It was leaving some strange artifacts or whatever on the top of the head. I thought it was green screen, but again, I didn't look into it. I said whatever. The following day, he has another press conference. Again, he says he's not going to be around. So 2 days in a row, he has a press conference. And yesterday, what was that press conference about, Hayden?
Well, it was
It
about
led
COVID.
with it was about the four
Oh.
executive orders. Okay, he's been struggling right now to get anything signed with the Democrats. So when the Democrats don't want to do anything, what does the president have to do? Okay, I'm gonna sign some executive orders. He signed 4 executive orders, and that's what he talked about, leading with the one that he was leading with
was for veterans, a special stipulation about veterans that had blindness in both eyes, and he repeated that 3 times: blindness in both eyes, and of course the researcher and read between the lines person and Brian's like, okay, that means something.
I immediately
You
knew it
immediately
was.
were like, I think that has to do with the underground battles that are going on. He's like, I think there's a lot of
I think there's a lot of soldiers that are.
becoming blind.
The president said, especially blind in both eyes. This is what happened.
I don't know.
Well, first of all, we need to talk about what they budgeted and who they trained. Okay, I don't know military. I don't know if it's a battalion. I don't know how big the group is, but there's a group out of Virginia. I want to say it was Northern Virginia something.
I can look it up.
Look it up, please. But this group, they spent $500 million training this group in underground warfare,
Subterranean,
in subterranean
urban areas.
sewers. When you think about a lot of the major cities in the United States, a lot of them have underground systems. New York is famous for that. I know that in National Geographic magazine, they had an issue where you can just look at how crazy New York is. It's just built upon layers upon layers upon layers, and It's a crazy underground system that goes there, and a lot Los Angeles. There were Q posts just recently about Red Bluff in Northern California and how that was a series of when you look that up, it was in reference to Chinese tunnels that were, again, I think it was turn of the century, 1900s, and they would use this to smuggle people, obviously people, weapons, guns, anything on the black market that you could need to move, below ground. They were doing that back then. A lot of cities have tunnels below them. This training that was talked about.
I'll read it.
Go ahead.
U.S. Army leaders say the next. So this is written 2 years ago.
And where is it written from? What?
Military.com.
Military.com.
U.S. Army leaders say the next war will be fought in megacities, but the service has embarked on an ambitious effort to prepare most of its combat brigades to fight, not inside but beneath them. Late last year, the Army launched an accelerated effort that funnels some $572 million into training and equipping 26 of its 31 active combat brigades to fight in large-scale subterranean facilities that exist beneath the dense urban areas around the world. For this type of warfare, infantry units will need to know how to effectively navigate, communicate, breach heavy obstacles, and attack enemy forces in underground mazes ranging from confined corridors to tunnels as wide as residential streets. Soldiers will need new equipment and training to operate in conditions such as complete darkness, bad air, and lack of cover from enemy fire in areas that challenged standard Army communications equipment. Senior leaders have mentioned small parts of the effort in public speeches, but Army officials at Fort Benning, Georgia's Maneuver Center of Excellence, the organization leading the subterranean effort, so it's in Georgia, Fort Benning, that sounds like they're leading the subterranean effort, have been reluctant to discuss the scale of the endeavor. We did recognize in a mega city that has underground facilities, sewers, and subways, and some of the things we would encounter, we have to look at ourselves and say, okay, how does our current set of equipment and our tactics stack up? Colonel Townie Hedrick, commandant of the infantry school at the Army's Maneuver Center of Excellence at Fort Benning, Georgia, told Military.com in an interview, what are the aspects of mega cities that we have paid the least attention to lately? And every mega city has got sewers and subways and stuff that you can encounter. So let's brush it up a little. Interesting. And it goes on. The article goes on. But it's very interesting that they...
It's not only very interesting, it's a fact that they've trained our military to fight in these kinds of circumstances and in these kinds of conditions. The president, he led that press conference at the very beginning, again, by saying that he was expanding benefits for those veterans who had lost vision in both eyes. And he stressed that 3 times.
Well, this is interesting.
Okay.
An assessment last year estimates that there are about 10,000 large-scale underground military facilities around the world that are intended to serve as subterranean cities.
Wow.
10,000 cities underground. That's basically what that's saying. And so a lot of them have to be probably compromised. You would assume that that's where a lot of the worst stuff we've ever heard about are happening in these subterranean military cities.
There are tunnels that the ability to tunnel. I mean, look at this. I mean, we look at the easiest way to look at things, and you can see them tunneling through mountains. Is and there's videos out there that exist of truck drivers that go on these long. They're huge tunnels that exist from the major cities, and they go from deep underground military base to deep underground military base. If you haven't looked that up, they're called DUMBs. The acronym is for, again, Deep Underground Military Bases, and they exist. One of them, the local ones in California, is the China Lake Naval Weapons Facility, and it's in the desert of all places. We've got a naval facility, weapons facility, in the middle of the Southern California desert. In the anyways.
It says the article says it was because of North Korea, because there's a lot of tunnels or whatever in North Korea that they need to fight. But
North
That's
Korea.
just-
Yeah,
I know.
try United States
I'm
of
like,
America.
yeah.
Try
I don't
everywhere,
think we're worried
they
about
won't-
North Korea. I think
um,
we're worried about what's going on here.
Well, they're okay. That leads to, again, what was he talking about? Instantly, I believe he was talking about that. I think the president was talking about the expanded benefits. He was expanding the benefits to veterans who had lost vision in both eyes. He expressed that 3 times. I believe that there's a lot of tunnels, and we've talked about these things. I don't even know if these are they Q post, Heidi, that about the tunnels that they were tunneling directly under the train to nowhere going up to Fresno in the middle of the middle of California.
Oh yeah. There's a few posts about the California fires.
Okay, so the fires.
But I don't think it uses the word tunnel, but it does talk about like what pointing. It's pointing the laser pointer at the California fires, like that they were deliberately set.
There's a fire that went on for a whole year, and it was nuts because it just kept on. See, it was smoldering for a long time. There's a lot of tunnels that are going to be exposed. We believe there's tunnels that go right underneath the Getty in Los Angeles.
Oh, that's known. They're huge.
They're huge tunnels. So that is a tunnel entrance. Again, there's lots of different tunnels. We've talked about tunnels, including the tunnels underneath the Playboy Mansion. The blueprints for those exist, and those are again. There's different levels of tunnels, including there were once upon a time intercontinental tunnels that linked the continents, and they were underground, and they were. I believe there's been a lot of battles going on underneath there. These are some.
Well, and this leads us to what's been happening in the news. I mean, Q told us that August was going to be hot, and you can read that lots of different ways. And right now, it appears that it's no coincidence that there's a bunch of fires happening all over the planet right now.
Explosions,
and
fires,
explosions, and it just kind of lends with this idea that there's underground battles going on, because these, especially the video footage from Australia, to me was like, because you could hear explosions underground, like they were muffled explosions.
I've heard footage, and this might have been from Twitter, but it was you could hear gun battles going on under the sewers in Los Angeles.
Oh wow!
Remember, and this was I want to say
How
this
long
is
ago
about
was that?
4 or 5 months ago.
Oh.
I don't know. My sense of time, it could have been longer than that. But those go along with the footage from, I want to say it was Simi Valley from one of these fires. And that's in Southern California. And there were manhole covers that were popping up. Remember that?
Yes.
And
yes.
So
exactly.
and along with that goes those creepy little stupid fires that were snaking through certain areas of Hollywood Hills and Beverly Hills and it was that area, more around Burbank. I think it was going down towards the studios. Those are very suspicious. I've seen. Okay, we've talked about Beirut, right? We've talked about what we thought it could have been, or possibly what it was, and how.
I don't know.
Okay, there's evidence from a video, and again, the
missile one was photoshopped. That one.
Okay,
Definitely.
the missile, but you could hear planes that were around there too. When everything went down, you could hear planes. Now, I heard people, in several of these videos that I watched that were uploaded, and again, what's weird is I'm just a dude that's watching just like everybody else. I've never seen an explosion like that unless it was a nuclear explosion. But there's no fallout. There's no, the whatever meters that detect. It's a Geiger counter. That's. Oh man, I'm so dumb. Yeah, it's a Geiger counter.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes. Anyways.
Closer.
Oh.
Shot.
There was nothing that was suggested, and as a matter of fact, the blast, I heard it was directed in a certain direction. I'm just like you guys. We're watching the evidence, and it just looks suspicious. And one of the pictures I've seen, there's they call it the rod of God, and I've seen this. That looked like a huge explosion. That was a big explosion, whatever that was. But I've seen smaller ones where like a taxi cab was hit. And I don't know what was launching it, what was shooting it, but it looked like a lightning bolt just came out of the sky and zapped it. And the taxi cab, it was in the Middle East. I remember watching it. I was like, wow, maybe some of you have seen that same video. And again, going to the footage in Beirut of what looked like the rod of God, or
AO saying Beirut was a DEW weapon.
Yeah, directed energy weapon. Thank you, whoever's saying that.
Baltimore thinks Baltimore was a meth lab.
Okay, Baltimore that looked like a house yeah, exactly. That wasn't.
Oh wow,
that was one house.
Interesting.
What?
Check out Canaanites, Phoenician Navy. Those tunnels.
Well,
tunnels in Beirut.
I was sour.
Beirut is where the Phoenicians originated. Imagine how ancient those tunnels are over there, and the trade routes ancient. Yes, that's really interesting. That's true.
I've read.
For anyone that's new, just so you know, we always have the fake news on, not because we're promoting the fake news, but because we like to expose the fake news.
Like right now, I like Chuck Todd.
We just like to expose the fake news and make fun of them.
I like Todd. He's like a parrot on my shoulder, and then whoever this CIA operative is. He's like a little talking, like he's the devil. Head. You know, you got the angel on one side. There's nobody there, but then you got like.
Yeah, and you could pick his nose.
Chuck Todd. His little ugly mug on my shoulder. Yeah, I like that. Come back, Two Frame. Come back. I want to see Chuck Todd.
Anyways.
I was reading somewhere about how during the Iraq Desert Storm, when they went into Iraq and when Iraq went into Kuwait and set everything on fire, and Saddam Hussein was a bad guy and that whole thing. I read somewhere that the Bushes wanted to go in there to they were trying to get antiquities.
The Bushes. What year was this?
When Desert Storm was going on. So this would be, gosh, I want to say 90. Wow, I'm old. 91? 92? No, it's gotta be like 90s, 90, whatever it was. I feel like I should know this stuff, and I don't. I don't get 500 points for that question on Jeopardy, guys.
No.
So no. But from what I heard, that he was going into the museums there to see his antiquities, because, again, these guys are Satanists. These guys are Luciferians. They worship Baal. They worship all the Phoenician gods, all the Egyptian gods,
that
Sumerian
Indiana
gods.
Jones is kind of real. Like maybe it makes me think
Well,
that
they
like
do. I mean,
those
think
things
about
do
this.
have power for them.
If
Those
you
artifacts and stuff really do matter and really do bring some sort of power.
Absolutely, 100%. You have the
Crazy.
Ark of the Covenant. I mean, and Steven pedophile Spielberg. Maybe that's gonna get us freaking jacked. Maybe we're not. I shouldn't have said that. But he's an alleged pedo. He depicted in that movie. I mean, of course he's gonna depict that stuff. It's like your face is gonna melt off when you see that. So yeah, of course. I've always wondered myself, if I would have seen it, could I withstand it? And I think I think I can do it. Let me look at it. I think I have the power. Let me look at it. No, I'm not worthy. I am not worthy to look at it. I will melt. My face will melt like one of those Nazis that you remember that saw it.
Did you know that AO says Beirut is the oldest city in the world? I didn't know that.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. Eve says the same way they did to Saddam and Gaddafi. Remember, they were like, remove the dictator. That's what they were setting Trump up for too.
Well, of course, it's easier. I mean, that was pretty crazy, because it's like, we were fun. The United States gives money to everyone. It always has. President Trump, that's one of his accomplishments. Is he's like, know what? No more handing out money. Nope. You cannot. He was handing out money. I'm sorry. are the previous administration was handing out money, and so was the previous one, and so was the previous one. The Bushes,
Giving
they're
our
just as
country
bad.
away.
Okay, George Herbert Walker Bush. Remember his resume. He was a CIA director, and he was also the ambassador to China. You put those things together, and look what he's created. This world that we live in right now is part of the Bush's legacy. Okay, so you got George Herbert Walker Bush. This crap that's going on today, this is his baby. Screw that guy. That guy's a Luciferian, and he was part of going in when he went into yeah. He was just looking for his little toy. He wanted to have a little ball statue in his room on his on his bedstand.
I wonder what that if that picture of George, the father, with the grandkids, and he's holding that pyramid.
That's real. What about it?
I wonder what that pyramid is. Like, if it's something specific.
It's
Besides
a
the
symbol
symbol.
besides it being a toy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Tim Alexander says the deep state is being rooted out in all nations. That's right. It has to be, because it's not. I mean,
We were talking about this the other day.
yeah. I mean, we think of all these countries as being, like against each other, but really,
China.
the
China.
leaders-
China's horrible. Who else is horrible? Iran. They're bad. Who are all the bad countries that the axis of evil, whatever it is you want to call it? China, Iran, North Korea, Cuba.
Well, I have to tell you, I was shocked to learn. Really, it was Q that I learned that how bad Israel was. I liked what's its Netanyahu.
But wait,
I
we're
liked
telling everyone though. You got to talk about everyone first. You got to talk about
Okay.
all the bad. Okay, now you just see we were talking
I
about
jumped
this.
the gun.
Yeah,
I jumped the gun.
you just gave it I'm
Okay,
trying
I
to
gave
teach.
it away.
Okay, this is what I'm trying to do. Okay, I'm trying to teach.
Tell them what I do when we play poker.
No, okay.
Tell them
Oh
how I
my
ruin the
gosh.
poker games every time. Because
Okay,
I can't keep a straight face.
Heidi always.
So I can't. We can't play
when
poker.
we play poker.
together.
Okay, just friendly family games. Everybody throws in a couple bucks, whatever. You
With
sit
our
there for 4 hours.
with the children.
Kids are there. The kids, you bust them out. You're like, thanks, nice try. Get out of here, kids. I'm here for the $18. I'm here for the $18. So Heidi's there. Heidi's already busted out, and then there's like 3 of us left. And there's a little pot. It's like wow. It's like whoa.
Anyways.
And Heidi is sitting there, and I've got a hand, and I'm just representing my hand. And Heidi's like, "What do you got? Look at this. She's already just look at the face of guilt. Show them your face. Show them your face now."
I think about it now, and I think I'm so stupid. Like,
Okay,
why did I
this
do
is
that?
a poker game. There's $18 at stake. Okay, it might have been 12, but I'm just okay. There's money on the table. Okay. It's legit. There's pride that goes with money. Everybody that plays knows that. It's like, I don't care if there's $5. I don't care if there's $2. But you can't be betting with peanuts, okay? I don't care about peanuts. I want freaking $2 on there.
Anyways, he shows me his cards, and I just give away his cards by going.
She was like, "Whoa, what are
doing?
you?
Why are you going all in?" You do that all the time.
You know what? This
Like,
was
Brian,
this.
Stop going
okay.
all in. Why are you going all in?
Let me tell you, that was a big
Terrible.
argument. We pretended like we were friends that
yeah.
night. We had like cold macaroni
You
salad.
were so
We had
mad at
like
me.
warm macaroni salad, like the fruit that was left out, and we're like, okay, we're going. I busted on that probably. That like ruined anyways. Okay, so
don't
going
play
back to this
poker with
story.
me. Or don't show me your cards.
Going back to this story, this is a conversation that Heidi and I had already, and we were talking, and I was trying to tell you how we're going with this, and it's like, you know what? Everybody looks at the Chinese and go, yeah, it's a Chinese virus. POTUS doesn't think the people of China are bad. Not at all. The people of China are just enslaved, guys. And who are they enslaved by? We'll talk about that in a second. Iran, another country that's being oppressed, that's under an oppressive regime right now. The people of Iran are freaking rad. I know a lot of Persians. They're proud people.
Like freedom. They had a taste of it.
Yeah, back once upon a time. They're the most westernized country. Come on, look at our history. Ding. You know what that means?
God nod. That means you're telling the truth, Brian Van.
That's right. whatever that notification
Whenever
was.
the bell comes on, he's like, "That's
That's
right.
it.
That's what I was saying, Heidi."
Unless we're in an argument and she has something and the
And
ding
then
goes off, I
get
go,
it,
no.
I go, "That's mine."
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay. Every country that's out there, whether it's Iran, whether it's Cuba, all these countries that are the enemy of Venezuela, guess what? They're all people that are enslaved. And who is enslaving them again? If you look at the Q Post, talk about who is going to be the last. Like, who is the very, like, I would want to know who is running this whole entire show. Like, okay, we know that there's a war going on. There's literally a subterranean, there's a physical war going on underground, a physical war underground, and screw those guys.
oh, that's a God nod, Brian. He's telling the truth.
Okay. And screw those guys for fighting dirty underground, man, because I don't know what the Geneva Conventions, what the rules of engagement are for underground warfare, but that is screwed that the president had to say that 3 times, that soldiers had lost their freaking vision.
In both
That is freaking
eyes.
wrong, okay? So it's like, I think about this kind of stuff and I go, this stuff is going on and nobody knows it.
Nobody
Nobody
knows.
has an idea what's going on, okay?
Like a battle.
So these battles are going on and these battles are being fought on our behalf.
To save the children
And people,
and
there's
humans.
people
slaves.
getting trafficked. They don't even have birth certificates,
The
okay, guys?
Democrats are all worried about slavery that was abolished hundreds of years ago, 100 years, however many years ago. And we've got actual human slaves now.
You know what,
Like,
though,
legit-
Heidi? A lot of this has been Matrix kind of stuff. Like, you know what?
Oh, I know.
We're talking about the most ridiculous kind of things that people are like, what the freak are they talking about tonight, man? Tunnels?
No,
Yeah.
that's not crazy. I mean, we know that there's tunnel. I mean, that's not a secret that there's tunnels. Like, you can look. There's tunnels everywhere. There's hundreds of maps of tunnels all over, and huge tunnels. We've
Okay.
talked about that a lot.
When you're talking about soldiers losing their vision, you know, there's no rules. When it comes to war is hell. And there's no rules because when the president was talking about soldiers losing their vision, yeah, they got ambushed. There's a booby trap. There was something that was going on down there. Whether it was an explosion, whether it's a flare, whatever, some kind of phosphorus boom, you know, it's like there's soldiers that are walking around blind underground. Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys are fighting on behalf of us. And you know what? My heart goes out to their families. All the families of soldiers that serve on behalf of me and my family and my country and my city. My heart goes out to you guys that, again, you guys are
Sacrificing
sacrificing a lot, if not all. So going back to what's going on right now, the president talked about he
Oh
signed
yeah,
other
Eve just said, remember when military last year bought millions of night vision goggles to fight in underground tunnels? That sounds familiar. I can't say it was like an article specifically about night vision goggles. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
I don't know if I remember that.
I'm not
Eve,
down
but
to
that's
you.
very interesting because it goes along with the $500 million they spent to train specific.
There's video out there too. There's
Okay.
video of the soldiers when they were taking their oath. I think that was from George Magazine, and I don't
George
believe
News, yeah.
or George News Network. If you look that up, there might be some video there, and I don't think it was from the Mercy or the Comfort because a lot of footage that we watched from the Mercy and Comfort came from George Network. Again, I think this is like them swearing in. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what's happening right now. I connect the fires that we're seeing all over the place and the explosions. I think it's all connected, and I think it has to do with
Yeah.
whatever Q said about August being hot. I mean, it makes
Okay.
sense.
Now this is getting crazy because I haven't even
then-
looked. I haven't even looked. I'm jumping the gun.
Okay.
We haven't even talked about the president in his press conference today.
I know, we didn't even finish. We didn't even
Yeah.
go there. So this afternoon he tweeted press conference at 5:30, enjoy. And I thought that was funny that he put enjoy, so I copied it.
Why would you think it's funny?
I
Heidi? As
posted
a
it.
researcher, why would you think that's funny?
Because that's part of the Q. It's just something that the Q posts say enjoy the show. And for him to say enjoy a press conference is just funny. To me, it was a little bit of an alarm that something interesting was going to happen.
You posted it.
And
It was enough that you
Enough
posted
that
it.
I'm like, I'm posting that on our We Are the News page because that's funny that he said enjoy. I think there wasn't even an exclamation
Yeah.
point. So,
And I could see Q Plus laughing.
and he did not disappoint, did he? So we had a little scare today at the presser. He gets, whisked away by this Secret Service, and he's totally calm and cool. And like thinking about it now, I'm kind of like going,
Tell me what you said.
about what?
You said he was acting.
Well, I was like,
And what kind of acting
was-
did you say was?
I was like, I was like, that was kind of, if he knew about that, if he knew that that was supposed to happen, that shooting or whatever, if he knew that that was supposed to happen for whatever reason, we have no idea. We'll figure it out later. But if he knew it, I was like, it's kind of bad acting because he didn't seem like, well, I mean, he was kind of like, oh, we're okay. I'll go walk up the stage.
It wasn't bad acting. It was trolling. Acting.
It was trolling
He was
acting. He was yeah.
It was as bad as Omarosa, when she showed up on The View, and she was pretending like she didn't know about the recording that she had of President Trump speaking about and trolling again. It was the same kind of acting. It was like, oh, what was that all about? He came
They
back and
probably
trolled.
have no idea you're talking about the Omarosa clip.
Well, then talk about it then. I'm sorry. Omarosa, when she
Who
was,
supposedly turned on Trump, right?
she has a book, she writes a book, and when she's promoting her book, she goes to The View. On The View, because I watch The View all the time. So on The View, I was watching it, and I go, oh my gosh, Omarosa's here, and I could
Which
not.
is why you watched it, probably.
It was on YouTube or something, and I saw it. But it was as I was watching it, I could see her as she was plugging her book. She was like, I have this recording. So they put up a picture of Trump, President Trump, and they have this recording playing in the background.
Oh, she goes, oh, I secretly recorded it.
Yes.
They're all like
And they were
excited,
like, oh my
salivating at the
gosh.
juicy. She's like, oh, it's going to be juicy. You recorded him. And she's like, yeah, this is him talking about.
I was
whatever."
excited to hear what she had to say herself. Because
And they were all on the women on the wheel. They could tell they did not preview the clip because they were like, oh, it's
Not
going to
only
be
that, but
juicy
think about this.
gossip.
you cannot get near the president with your own phone. Think about that.
And record him
record.
secretly.
Oh, yeah, that's
Anyway.
a nice try.
So they're playing. They go, okay, here we go. Let's play the clip.
They played this.
Play the clip.
A producer, somebody never saw this thing because it was yeah.
It was just Trump talking about how much money Hillary Clinton paid for the
dossier.
fake dossier. That's all it was. It was like, did you hear she spent $6 million or whatever it was on that fake
What?
dossier?
I heard it was more like 13. He said something like that.
And like it had, there was no juicy gossip on Trump at all. And so like it made
Okay.
Hillary Clinton look bad.
After the whatever it was 20-second excerpt that they played live, when they came back to the studio, live studio with all the people sitting on the set, all the host, you could see all of their faces kind of like
Joy's
what?
all,
the heck
let's get a
just happened?
commercial break. We'll come back. Or Whoopi, one of them. Was
All
like,
of them.
they're
were
all
tripping,
like,
whoa.
what? That was not what we thought it was going to be.
So when they came back from the commercial break, which I couldn't wait to see, there was Omarosa with the sheepish grin on her face, and I could tell I don't really like Omarosa. I don't really like her. I mean, I'm just gonna say I just
You've
don't really like
never
her.
been a fan.
I was never a fan of hers. You know what? I fell in love with her when I saw them come back.
You fell in love
I
with her.
fell in love with Omarosa. I did.
You thought she was rad.
Well, she was pretty hilarious. She was amazing. She was funny. And it went from me kind of like not caring about her to be going, oh, she's a definite insider. She is definitely out here pinch hitting for the president. You know, so when they came back, it was her sitting in the middle of the little rat's nest that we call the View, and there was Omarosa with this grin on her face, and she was like, oops, I don't know what that was about, but that's what I caught. You can't find it anymore on YouTube. I think we have it. You downloaded it to our site, right?
Yeah.
So it's on YouTube or
Oh,
it's either on YouTube or Facebook.
I have it on my YouTube channel.
So it's on Heidi's YouTube channel, Heidi VEA. Hi, you guys on YouTube. Going back to the president. We're watching that today.
So he gets whisked away, and we're like going.
He's talking.
Yeah.
Secret Service agent comes up, and again, it was part of the show, guys. I believe it's part of the show.
We
So he was
believe
like,
that is our assessment.
He's like talking to him. He's like,
It
and you can
just
hear the camera.
seemed planned. It didn't seem.
My favorite
I don't
part.
know.
My favorite part was the camera going wide that we were watching. I don't know whose feed we were watching, but it went wide and then it tilted to the right, and there was a window over there, and you saw all the reporters running up to the window and looking out the window with their cameras, and I was like, that must be where Marine One is, because I don't know where they were going, or but it looked like an outside window, but that was funny, and
I think that it could just be like messing with. It could be symbolic of like, I'm not worried about anything, because he came right back in and just like
about 3
finished.
minutes. I felt like,
Like
it was about 3
literally
minutes.
like whisked away. There was a shooting, and then he's just like back on there like nothing, like it ain't no thing. And I'm just kind of
He
like,
was so cool.
he was so calm and cool, and that's what everybody was commenting on. Like, look at him, he's like so cool and just chill. And so I don't know if that was for optics or what it was, but that thing, the fact
I'll
that he
tell you what I
tweeted
believe it
enjoy
was.
and then
Yes.
that it happened, it just
They-
the little researcher in me knows that means something.
Okay, this is what it means. He was flushing out one of their cells that they had, because there are people that are out there that they still control. I believe that was one of their assets, and when I say they control, it could be MK Ultra, it could be the voice of God, it could be all kinds of technology that they're using. If you look at the Stillman High School, Colorado, they're all hearing voices in their head, and we know that the CIA, as well as other intelligence agencies, have the ability to put thoughts in your mind through transmitters, usually through a cell phone. I believe that there was a patent that they could do it through a cell phone from as far as like 100 yards away or something like that.
Tim are you done?
Uh-huh.
Oh, Tim thinks that we're not actually seeing the real Trump. He thinks it might be a deep fake. Is that what you're saying, Tim? We are seeing more than one actor for Trump using deepfake technology with old footage. And then Eve says, I agree, Tim. We'll only see CGI Trump for a while. POTUS is well protected. With CGI renderings, the neck will wrinkle like a mask. Also around hairline, the eyes will blink strange, flicker. The mouth moves odd. Okay, so interesting. You guys both think that we're not seeing the real Trump right now. Interesting.
Okay. I like that. These are our Q researcher friends. I also think that
So you think that Trump really is then in some sort of bunker then right now, like because it is really getting heated up? Is that what you think, Tim? I definitely know he's protected for sure.
you got to think about how he's protected. And you got to think about to what lengths the deep state will go to take DJT out. If you've been, the first time, I think one of the first things that really woke us, wasn't even waking us, we were watching it like the show. What's that?
He says he thinks he's on Air Force One.
Okay, I don't know if he's on Air Force One. I don't know where he's at. But I know that when he was on Air Force One, coming back from Asia in that first trip, that missile that they were shooting at him wasn't supposed to take out the Air Force One. It was supposed to do damage to the whole entire area. Like they were shooting a big weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and from what I heard, it was to explode over them. But if they're willing to do that,
We definitely need to be praying for the president right now.
Absolutely.
Praying for him and his family.
and all the white
Because
hats, they're in harm's
these
way for
people,
sure.
as strong and good as our white hats are, these people this is their Allahu Akbar. Like they're like on their dying, they're losing everything, and they know they're losing
This
everything.
is the last ditch effort that
This
they've
is their
got.
last.
They've got nothing.
Yes, they've got nothing.
They've got
they-
no
their Hail
resources.
Mary,
They
they're
are
like-
expending all their resources right now.
because he's just stripping their power away and their money and their grip on everything, like just what he did with big pharma. Big pharma equals the deep state. Big pharma is the deep state. Big Pharma is so intertwined. I think they're the biggest.
Well,
I think they're the biggest donators to
highly-
politics.
okay. It's not just big pharma.
Oh, I'm just saying
It's
they.
big business.
I
It's
know.
entertainment.
I'm just saying he specifically mentioned
There's a lot
that
of
he's
money.
got a lot of rich enemies when he was in the context of the conversation
Yes.
about Big Pharma.
Okay.
or Pharma.
This goes along with everything that we've been talking about when it comes to NESARA law, which is the National Economic Security and this is a quiz for you, Heidi. This is not an open book quiz. You cannot look at your phone. National Economic Security
Economic. No, you already said economic.
and
Oh, is it an A?
I
I don't know.
And they won't put an and for
What
you.
are we? What are we doing? I'm
Sarah
not even
Law.
thinking. I'm like reading comments. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what game we're playing. Sorry, I didn't know we were playing a.
I
trivia.
wanted you to tell everyone.
What NESARA stands for?
Yes.
Okay. I know I've read this many times.
Okay, regardless.
Anyway,
It's
I don't
okay.
care.
It's okay.
Doesn't matter.
The NESARA law has to do partly with what was I getting to?
I don't know. We're talking about Trump. Tim's talking about how Q said he would be on his plane. And Eve says, remember the Q post insulated? That's what I keep thinking. And then Tim said, in a secret location. And then Tim said there was more than one missile attack.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And multiple attempts on his life, especially every time he left the country. Every time he left the country, he was just like going into like they were waiting. He was supposed to go to Normandy, and he ended up staying in Scotland. Yeah, they were waiting for him. These guys, man, these guys are relentless, especially right now when it's their end game. There's nothing that they can do and except for expend everything that they've got. They've got no communications. Once they got
Their money's drying up.
once we found out, like, okay,
supply chains of children.
let's talk about one of the very first executive orders the president signed when he became president of the United States, and that was to
Be able to seize the assets of those that are participating
human trafficking.
in. It didn't say human trafficking. It said crimes against humanity or something. Maybe it did say trafficking.
Human trafficking.
The word trafficking.
So it was confiscating assets and property. And one of the things they did was they forced this property sale of
the Rothschild estates, right?
in Bavaria. One of their biggest pieces of property they had to sell because
they hunt children on in the Black Forests.
well, that was part of it, but more important was just seizing their assets and showing everybody like, look what we made them do. And it was kind of cool because they made them to maintain their day-to-day operations. They had to sell a big piece of real estate that was worth billions of dollars.
And that was like
And that
a
was
huge
forced on them.
Q proof for us.
That was a big Q proof.
Because we had just been told about all the human trafficking and all that stuff, and then POTUS signed that executive order, and then a few days later you see them, or like a week later, I don't know how long later, but then they're all of a sudden they're selling it, and Q points to it, like, look at it, they're selling their property, they're selling their assets. That was
They're losing their assets. Like that?
losing their assets. Yeah. So, yeah, I just think we're in some interesting times. I think that, I mean, we've always been interesting. It's always interesting, but the president's life is in danger more than ever probably right now. The whole thing with the United States Postal Service, like that whole thing is, I can't believe the liberals are going nuts trying to say that, of course, the opposite of what's really happening.
Well, the
which is-
president, he already said, okay, this is what the president said. He's been saying this. If you guys would have listened to his speeches, okay, these people need to look up, and rather than hear the little stupid people on CNN, MSNBC, Fox, all the other stupid stations, ABC, CBS, NBC, New York Times, LA Times, WAPO, all of them all freaking garbage. Stop listening to that garbage. If people would just listen to what the president said, the president already said Amazon is using them. Like everybody uses the U.S. Postal Service because it is already a built system that goes into very rural areas. It covers vast amounts of. So what's profitable for these companies like Amazon, they'll do the little low hanging fruit. They'll take that. But when instead of paying more, why are we subsidizing these guys at the U.S. Postal Service? We need to. The rates need to go up to the point of where it's profitable. If they're not profitable, they have no business. The U.S. government has no business. I'll tell you what, though. U.S. Postal Service isn't even part of the United States government. The profits go to somewhere else. So people don't know. That's like the IRS. It's like the Federal Reserve. The U.S. Postal Service, we need to unmask. I like that word now. We need to unmask the U.S. We need to unmask the U.S. Postal Service. So instead of all of you that stood in line to unmask General Flynn, we need to unmask
all government agencies,
all government agencies,
all government employees. Everything needs to be transparent. I like the Julian Assange quote. It says that privacy for us, transparency for the government. Absolutely.
And government's families.
That is how this country needs to run. We, the people, need our privacy, and if we pay you with our tax dollars, everything
including
needs
the
to be transparent. We need to know exactly how our money's being spent.
And there should be no conflicts of interest. In other words, like people like Maxine Waters. Okay, we'll talk about these local people in a second.
Celtic Girl says, dark times coming this fall and winter. Oh, I was hoping the dark times
What's up, Celtic Girl? Celtic Girl.
Tim Alexander says, we have the gold. I believe that too. I've heard that.
We have all the gold that was stolen.
I love it. Tim says, I love it when the reporters ask POTUS how he is going to fund his executive orders. And he says sarcastically, we have the money. He's like, we've got the gold, guys. You know that, don't you?
One of the things that I saw on Facebook yesterday was someone who was complaining. Multiple people are complaining that because the president did not extend payroll taxes to people making over $100,000, that this was a way of redistributing the wealth from the rich to the poor. And when I'm saying poor, I'm saying the poor that are making under $100,000 a year. So we're talking the poor people that make under. So
they were complaining.
And guys, you need to stop complaining. If you're making over $100,000 a year, I'm not saying you can't make more. I'm just saying relax a little. You know what? You're gonna get thrown a bone pretty soon. You can just chill out, relax. Things are gonna get better.
Go back to normal.
You're gonna
your
get
lifestyle.
Everything will be equitable. And I remember there's this clown, and he literally was a clown in America, I think. His name was Forbes magazine. Remember him when he was running for president? He had the flat tax plan. That was his big gimmick. You know what? That gimmick might actually be a legit.
It actually happened.
That legit. Okay, and not only that, but from what I hear from Nasser Law, also there's going to be forgiveness of debt. We've talked about this before. There's going to be part of the festival of Jubilee that's spoken of in ancient Israel. I know that there was 49 years, so 7 times 7 years of festival. And on the 50th year, they were supposed to have a big year, and there was supposed to be forgiveness of debt. And this is supposed to happen this year. I've heard that people are already having their debt forgiven unknowingly, and they don't want to say anything about it. But these things are going to happen. There's a lot of people, and people are like, well, I would have run up debt. I would have bought. Guys, don't think like that. We are in for good times. Okay, I don't really consider myself an optimist. I'm only an optimist because I'm a realist, okay?
Because you really see the good things happening. So that's what makes you an optimist.
I'm a pessimist. I'm the biggest pessimist.
But based on what you're seeing, you're going, wow, this is everything that you could ever. And I honestly did not even think that Trump could do the things that he's doing. Like I I didn't think all the things could be undone. I didn't think we could have all our stuff manufactured in this country again. I didn't think that public schools would ever be challenged or changed. I didn't even think, I never thought any of those, I never even considered those types of things in our country getting fixed.
The Federal Reserve.
I always thought, okay,
like, how is the
he'll
Federal
fix
We've talked
the
about the Federal Reserve
economy.
going
That's all I
down.
thought. I thought
Yeah.
he'll fix the military and he'll fix the economy.
Build
I
a
think
wall. He says he's
my
gonna build a wall.
my young Trump fan self said he'll fix it, he'll protect our borders, blah blah blah. I had no idea.
He's amazing.
So many levels of corrections are being made. And I am just in awe at all the planning that has gone into figuring out how to make this all happen. Because really, like you were saying, Tim, like you have to, like there's a deep state in every country. I think that's what people need to, that's a good point to make, because when we talk about the deep state, a lot of times people think we're just talking about our own country. No. The deep state
It's global.
is global, and they're all on the same team. We think that that we are like they're not friends. Oh no. They have white hats in every country, and they have the deep state in every country. So I'm sure I'm impressed by the game of chess that is played by all these white hats and black hats. Like there is serious chess being played, and I never thought deeply about how. I don't know. It's amazing. It's amazing. I
The
don't know how
moves
this
are happening right now. I think a few of us out there, I'm sorry, not most of us, I think a few of us out there know that we're watching a movie, that you're really watching a show. I think if you have that attitude and you know that, and you exercise a little bit of patience, and you have faith, because it does require faith to believe that the good guys are in charge.
Yeah.
That the good guys are really taking
Well, and when
humongous
things are
steps.
confusing, like you're like, well, what is it? Why would Trump do that? What does that mean? That requires faith to understand the big picture. People focus so much on little tiny things, and I'm like, zoom out. You gotta look. You cannot just look at that one little thing and
It's
go,
very
"Oh."
tempting though, because I think we all step back and go, okay, gosh, okay, we're good, we're going in the right direction. And then you get sucked back in. I mean, after all that you've learned, after all that you know, you build and you're like, okay, gosh, I love this. I love the direction of this country. And then all of a sudden somebody goes with their little stupid laser pointer, they go, look at that right there. And they start playing with something. And they're like, and you're like, oh my gosh, no kidding. The president wore a freaking mask and the press saw him and there's pictures of him everywhere of him wearing. Oh, wait, that was me that lost my mind when that happened. Guys, after all you know and all you learn, you still gotta re-examine everything, because don't forget where you came from, because that's what will happen. You'll learn all this stuff, and then some little thing,
someone will go, oh, look at this, I don't know. And it's like, dude, you got to look at the big picture. You don't understand how this is, like, you can't reject something because you.
Let's talk about the picture. Let's talk about the big picture. What are some of the things that we want to talk about? What's one thing that we want to talk about? Anything?
I don't know what you mean.
What is something good that the president has talked about that is worth speaking of, that we can, you know what, I like to think about all of the good things that have come out of this whole virus thing, this shutdown, that's happened, this global shutdown. What are some of the good things?
Well, I love that Big Pharma is being exposed, because that leads our whole entire, there's going to be a shift. I just think people are going to start learning that they can heal themselves without like all this crap medicine that just makes you sicker. And I think people are going to start, I think there's going to be huge advances in non-invasive.
They've already happened.
Yeah,
the
but
advances
you
are
hear
sitting
about
there.
the frequencies and using lights and magnetic whatever.
They're called
Magnets. I don't know. All these different
magnetism.
All these different ways that we can
Magnets.
heal our bodies, and just even just having health, like good food that's not full of crap and more
Okay.
chemtrails. I think our health is going to be
One of the
better.
things that we have to remember also is that these companies, after like what's that Russell Brand movie? That was not Russell Brand. What's his name? Russell Crowe.
Which movie?
He was a whistleblower.
Oh, The Insider.
The Insider. Okay. You think of Philip Morris, you think of all these cigarette companies, like, okay, those guys are the bad guys, man. Those guys
Oh,
manipulate.
So this is the video footage right here that you thought was CGI. Yeah, that's it.
Yep. Look at the
You
hair.
can't really see it in this, but yeah, he's outlined with a blue glow. Anyway, oh, look at these two, Mika and Joe. We know all about you. First of all, you murdered a girl.
You're yeah. And Mika,
And you're the daughter of Mossad,
an agent, yeah.
Russian Mossad.
Brzezinski, what's her dad's name again? Leo? No, what's his name?
I don't know.
Brzezinski.
But these guys, they're
What's
going
his
down.
name?
They're going down. If you didn't know that, that
All
little
right.
duo.
Okay.
Save the Children is trending over 1 million. I thought they were like suppressing that hashtag.
Okay. All of you guys out there, I don't want,
What?
I love the Save the Children thing, hashtag, but it kind of reminds me of, remember when, I agree, we need to save the children, but hashtag save, remember the girls from Darfur? Remember when Michael Obama had that sign in the Oval Office and she
It's
was
not
like,
the same, Brian.
huh?
It's not the same.
I know
Don't
it's not.
compare it. Stop, you're making the cameras shake when you
Sorry.
get your hand down.
I know.
Knock it off.
It's not the same, but it's like, guys, Save the Children is more than just like, and I'm not trying to say there's tons to it. There's not just.
Well, it's not. But you don't just do the hashtag. You put information with the hashtag.
No, I think you just hashtag it. That's good.
No, real people that are
I mean,
like
it's not
trying to like spread information.
I mean, it's not
Well,
like having a
have
black background. If I have a black
Yeah,
background.
now that's stupid. Oh,
Well, but the hashtag.
no, it's not. It's not stupid, Brian. If you put it with information, if you talk about Pizzagate, if you talk about exposing
But
all
what
these
if
different
somebody
things,
just like? What if I just want to go save the children? Like I just want to like be like I want to participate in it. Can I just like hashtag it? Is that
yeah,
cool?
of course people do that. Of course.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but the idea is to not do that.
I wanna I wanna do like a ice bucket challenge for the whole.
Brian.
We had this conversation today, okay, guys?
Brian likes to make fun of the ice bucket challenge.
Because you know what? If you participated in the ice bucket challenge, man, come on, guys, really, really. I'm saying. That is the world that we live in, where somebody will go film themselves dumping ice on them, and then, I mean,
feel like they did something.
oh, come on, man. And it's like I'm a critic, man. I'm not. Yeah, I have an Eminem.
Tim, good
There's
for
so many-
you. Tim said I shared a meme with a hashtag and it was shared over 600 times. It is waking up people. I know.
it
Tim.
is, but
Brian.
But I'm still waiting for my money from. I was told that, like, I could participate in a Microsoft like rebate, and I sent it to like 50 of my friends, and like some people got mad at me. But I'm still waiting for my money from.
Brian, it's not the same thing. You don't see. You're not in the world of hashtags. Like you don't understand how that works. Like because if you get enough people talking about it, it gets trending, and people look. Why is this trending? Like you're not in that world, and you don't think about that.
It's a bogus world, man. Who runs that show? Who runs Twitter?
Brian,
Who runs this
I don't
show?
really know.
Who runs Facebook? CIA.
Or
LifeLog.
do the white hats.
LifeLog.
Do you think the white hats sometimes have control? It seems like. Whatever.
I think the white hats. Okay.
Brian, it still gets through the algorithms sometimes. There are good hashtags that get trending, and then they shut them down. So it's a battlefield. You can't just like retreat and go, oh, they're in control. Let's not fight. No, you keep fighting. You keep dropping that crap, man. You don't stop. Hashtag,
Guys.
hashtag.
Guys, did I tell you hashtag save the children? What's up? Yo! That's what's up. I'm back on board.
Thank you. You were like a weak digital soldier
I wasn't
there.
weak.
You
I was
were.
just kinda
You were
like-
like weak.
Actually,
You don't do the hashtag thing. That's
you know what,
fine.
Heidi? I know I don't do the hashtag thing, but you know what? I've been trying to tell people about this for a long time. I've been like telling people, hey guys, wake the blank up. It's happening right here in Hollywood, Petalwood. Guys, look at these freaks' tweets. And nobody, you know what? I would tell that to people, and you know what they'd say? Oh, come on, dude. That was a good Brian, we always
really
gotta have.
think Tom Hanks is a pedophile.
You know what? There's like, you're just a.
You know what? It was shocking.
You're a buzzkill, Brian.
No,
We
it
were
was
enjoying
like-
this party until you came, bro.
Dude, it was legit shocking to believe that many people could be abusing children. That was so weird for me to believe that. Like, it really took some, like, serious thinking. Like, it was hard to wrap my head around these famous people who I
Oprah, Tom Hanks.
consumed, who I watched, to, like, really believe that.
Did you say consumed human flesh?
No, I would never do that.
Oh, you've seen.
That's what they do. That's what they do. Yeah, it was really
These guys
hard.
are disgusting.
But you know what? It was like I get that when people think we're crazy and we say all that. Like, I get that. I was there too. I thought it was crazy too when I first started reading all this stuff. Trust me. You think we would put ourselves out here saying all this crazy stuff without knowing, like, for sure that it was true?
I've been trying to tell people for a long time. And you know
But
what?
I'm just saying, like,
I get more crazy looks, and it's like, yeah.
This is not
is how it goes.
based on one picture or one piece of information. This is like I said, the big picture. It's a collection of things you see, and you're ridiculous to dismiss it. If there's one thing that ends up being fake, and you go, oh, none of it's true, so you dismiss all that because of one thing. That's so.
That's the
So-
temptation, though, Heidi. People are very tempted and they're very
So-
easily swayed to look at bogus information and bogus. It's like, come on, guys, you've gone this far, and then now you're going to dismiss everything, just like you said.
I don't understand people that do that. Like, I
Yeah.
don't get it.
We've been doing this for quite some time, Heidi, since October, late October, not even October. I'd say November. That's when we started. I don't know when we finally figured out that this is like for real. That's when I came back to Facebook. I ditched Facebook. I knew Facebook was garbage. That's when we came back. That's when I came back. You were still on, and I was posting on your page, Heidi, and you were like, Brian, get off of my page. Yeah, I was dropping memes, and I was like,
Well, I'm
"Oh,
like, you
man."
talk like a dude, and then you're posting it under my name. I'm like, I don't talk like that. That's not how I don't talk like a dude. Like, don't post like how you would talk under my.
Yeah, but there are people out there that actually enjoyed it. They're like, look at this girl. She's just like tearing me up to shreds. And I was like, yeah, I was full beard going, oh, I'm Hardy.
No, the way you write is like
I
a
know,
man.
I know. But I'm just trying to envision what they were thinking. They were like, wow,
I'm like, dang, Heidi's kind of burly.
this broad is pretty cool.
No,
You like that?
I'm like, that's not my voice. It's not my voice. Peanut butter M&Ms, they're really good. It's more Illuminati food. We got to give it up eventually.
Very difficult.
I know.
Yesterday, I want to talk about local politics. We have a guy. We went to a. It was at Calvary Chapel in Huntington Beach. They sponsored a. It's like a political forum. Of course, it's an election year, so there's a lot of people there. It was
They invite anyone like
local politics.
locally running for Congress or
A couple
Assembly.
people that I want to talk about. Where's that, guys? There we go.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, Michelle Steele. She's running against Harley Ruda. I'm a huge fan of Michelle Steele. She doesn't know that
Why are you a fan of Michelle?
because I'm a fan of anyone who's running against Harley Ruda. Harley Ruda, you dirty plant. I don't like you. You're going to lose because you cheated to get here in the first place, along with other quote unquote people who won. So Harley Ruda, He knows me. You remember my face. When I see you in public, he runs away. I think he runs away from you too, Heidi. He doesn't like you either. So, our kids, our oldest kid, he thinks we're crazy for going after our.
But that was the only time he was ever
official.
proud of me. My son, who doesn't ever say anything nice to me, oldest one.
What? Oh my gosh!
Well, I mean,
Not
he's
bad.
very, okay. Let's just say he's not very generous with his compliments.
Well, that's your relationship.
So-
With me, he loves me.
So, and I think a lot of things, you know, I probably like embarrass him. I don't know, whatever. But when I went after Harley Ruda, he's like, "Mom, I have so much respect for you now." He's like, "I seriously respect you so much."
We have a kid, but so everything we do is just to impress our kid.
That's all. He's the measure. He's the measure. He's the measure of whether it was cool or not.
Wait,
I don't know.
this is what he always says for sure. He always says that we're really cringy at the beginning when
we dance.
We're dancing.
Do you know what?
Well-
That kid is a cringy dancer too. So there you go.
Where do you think he got it from us?
He got it
Come
from
on,
us.
dude.
Yeah, whatever.
Talking about local politics. I've had the opportunity to come across several of Huntington Beach, and if you're not from Huntington Beach, I'm sorry, but this is a Huntington Beach local issues and people that I really locally, we met people that were running for Congress. Okay. First of all, there's a couple people that are running locally. Michelle Steele, I wish you would have been there. I wanted to see you there. This was your time to shine. There's not many months left before November, and I want everybody to see who you are. Okay. Another person running that we met yesterday, and I got his card. This guy right here.
Whatever. Can't really see it.
Nope.
Greg.
Raths.
He was cool.
He is. I like him. He's a very approachable guy. He's running against Katie Porter. If you forget who Katie Porter is, she's from Irvine, California. She represents many. She represents Irvine. I'm sorry. I don't know if she's from Irvine.
I'm an orange. I think we're orange.
Katie Porter. If you forget who she is, because she's very forgettable
You can
until
look her up.
until you see that she was the clown that dressed up in a Batwoman costume and went to Congress and went to a congressional hearing. What
And
the
she
freak is
doesn't-
this? Is it
she
your
doesn't-
elementary school? She was a
no.
teacher. Is she a teacher? She looks like she was like a fourth grade
She has
teacher.
a teacher voice, kind of.
Katie
But
Porter,
she's super annoying.
you're
I
like,
can't stand that woman. Just listen. I listened to her in a town hall meeting.
but that's not why you should. It should be a voting record. We
No,
did
it
hate
is. It was.
is.
It was everything that she stood for. She was basically.
I know she's annoying,
She was
but
basically for open borders, but the way she, oh gosh, she was just like, I don't know, and she hates Trump. Like she's just, I don't think she represents her district really. I don't know where she came from. I think all these people cheated.
they all cheated. Young Kim.
Ooh, why do you keep disappearing from my shot? Like, anyway.
Locally, in Huntington Beach, California, there are two people that are running for city council. First of all, I want to talk about Tito Ortiz. When I met Heidi, her family, okay, Heidi has two sisters.
What are you telling? What story are you telling now? I don't know what you're.
Hey,
What are you
relax.
telling a story now?
Brace yourself, Heidi.
Oh,
Brace yourself.
Okay, here we go. I don't know what this has to do with anything.
Okay.
But
I need a drink. Por favor, thank you.
story
When I
time,
first-
Brian Bear.
Story, boys and girls, relax. Throw your feet up. I'm gonna tell you a story. When I first met Heidi, there's Erica, Heidi, and Brittany. 3 sisters, and mom and dad.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Then comes Brian Vea and the other brothers who ended up marrying the other sisters,
The other brother-in-laws.
brother-in-laws. We all like sports. We all like, at least I like boxing and I like UFC. I like that kind of, I like that. I like that. I like that competitive nature of squaring up. I like the sweet science of boxing. I like that to knock somebody out, you have to expose yourself to being knocked out to knock somebody else out. I love the bob and weave and uppercuts and haymakers, the whole thing. When I brought UFC to Heidi's house, no, what do you like? No. The first time I brought it to Heidi's house, it was like, I think we were eating hors d'oeuvres or something, maybe like, you know,
What do you mean
deviled
you brought it? What do you
eggs
mean you
or-
brought it to our
We're
house?
like, because we're
What do
all
you mean?
standing
How did
around.
you bring it to our house?
Okay, it was. Okay, the
It was
first
on
time
TV and you
no,
put it
it
on
wasn't on
TV?
TV. It wasn't on TV.
Oh, then how
This
did
was
you
a
film it?
this was a tape. This was in the early days when there was like. This was the early days when the
Okay.
Gracies still owned it. But anyways, I had a highlight reel and I brought it over and everyone thought it was a fight. We were watching a fight that had already been recorded, and I remember when at the very beginning. When they touch gloves and then they come in at each other and then they just start pounding each other. I remember it was your sister who left and was like, "Oh my gosh!" And she's just like, "What are you guys watching?" And she was like,
She's like, I can't watch this.
I cannot- well, this is
horrible.
and I was
This is
like-
horrible. Because it wasn't boxing. She had never seen like people like beating the crap out of each other. Like there was like practically blood.
But yeah, this is
flying
coming from the
everywhere.
same bunch of girls who probably just like watched Gladiator 2 weeks ago. You know, it was, oh my gosh, that was superb acting. Yes.
It was.
the
it
fighting
was like-
scene and yes.
You know, it was kind of shocking. Like it wasn't like something. It was pretty violent. Like it was. That's probably why it was so popular. 'Cause
Okay,
it was, like,
it's
super
still very
violent.
popular. I used to be. I'm still a fan of.
But
MMA.
yes, a bunch of
So-
girls are not gonna.
No,
My dad didn't watch that kind of stuff. We never watched that kind of stuff, so it was weird, especially even like for my mom. They're like, "Whoa, they're not used to watching this kind of stuff around our."
I had
around our house.
to bring them around, and I had to show them UFC. I was like, "Come here, this is UFC 11," and I just showed them, and we would slow. You know, I rewind it from the whole thing.
But I think it's funny because I think secretly my dad was like, "Oh man, I kind of like this."
Well, who
Never,
doesn't?
never
man?
get to have manly stuff around
Oh,
here.
gosh.
He doesn't. Like he really doesn't.
Well, now he does. He has more than he ever wanted. Now he's got all these grandkids and boys everywhere and that whole thing. Okay, going back to Tito. How did we get the?
I don't know. Your stories are.
I know they're long-winded. I know, but Tito, big fan, and to see you out there defending our city on that Saturday was rad. It was Sunday or Saturday? I think it was Sunday. I did not know that you were going to be running for city council, and when I found out that you were running for city council, and I found out after you had made that video with Prager. Now, I'm a huge fan of MMA. I'm a huge fan of Tito. But he's a fighter, you know? He's not a political guy. Until I saw that video that he did with Prager. I was like, wow. Now, I like Prager. As soon as I saw that you did a video with Prager, I was like, okay, this is cool. Because I am politically aligned with you more than, just the fact that you were on a PragerU video or Prager video. Very freaking cool. I'm excited for you to run for office here in Huntington Beach. I've seen them. I've seen some of the city council members. I see their voting records. I see what some of them have done. I know that they're up for their fight. They're fighting for their lives now. And there's another person that I want to also talk about that's running. Sorry, I'm pointing fingers.
No. You're just shaking.
I'm sorry.
A lot.
Is Gracie Vandermark. She's a friend.
Yes, support her.
And
too.
support her. If you're local Huntington Beach, she
She's
is
a-
conservative.
She loves Trump.
And she loves President Trump, as does Tito. Because
So
Tito,
if you like President Trump, then vote for those people.
yes.
Don't vote for the fake people that
No.
say, "Oh, I like some of the things Trump does."
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what do you not like that he does? That's what I want to know. Because I can't think of anything that I don't like that he's done.
There were elected officials. I'm sorry, there was candidates that were running in the South End that were supposed to be there yesterday. Joe Collins, he's a candidate who's running against Maxine Waters for a seat in the Compton area, right? Compton?
Who was?
Maxine Waters?
Who was running against her?
Joe Collins.
Yeah.
Joe Collins was supposed to be there yesterday.
It was a no-show.
Huh?
Shout out to Aaron Schwat in the house. What's up?
Yeah, but Joe
What's
Collins.
up,
Okay, this
Aaron?
is important. We're going
Say
back
hi
to
to
Joe.
Aaron.
I know. I want to say, Aaron, what's up? Okay, we're going back to Joe Collins. I know you just like don't think that's anything, but it's
Sorry.
like that's a huge thing. Okay, I went there to call the dude out. Okay, he wasn't there.
Yeah.
He was there. I'm sorry. He was in Minneapolis marching, and he had his fist raised. There's a picture taken with him and with Major Williams. Major Williams was there as well. Major Williams, you were on your cell phone. Good call. I heard you speak. It was like a 12-minute response that happened when you didn't show up in Huntington Beach when you were supposed to come by after. It was the day. It was like 3 weekends ago when all the Patriots were having a picnic down in Murrieta, and you weren't able to because you were entertaining and talking to people over there. I'm totally fine. I'm fine with your response. My thing is, you even said that Joe was going to have to answer for himself. Joe, why weren't you there yesterday? People in Southern California want to know, Joe, what do you like about President Trump? We are all such huge President Trump fans here, and we want to know if you are a conservative, and if you're running against Maxine Waters. We just want to make sure that
You support Trump.
that you really are
And you are a
conservative.
Trump supporter.
And if you aren't a Trump supporter,
Because he represents all of our values.
we want to know which part of him you don't like.
Exactly.
We would love to know. Please come
It's,
clean. We want to know.
We heard that that's what you said.
And
We
if
heard
you
that
are
you said you like
good,
some of the things Trump.
if you are good, we're good too. Who else was supposed to be there? John Briscoe. What happened to you? Dude, you're running in Long Beach against somebody, and it's like you were supposed to be there too. We would have loved to have seen candidates, and hopefully next month you'll be there. Okay? There's not many more months, and we want to see this. We want elected. We want people that have the opportunity to speak to do so, and that's your local politics for today.
For all our local viewers, because I know we do have a lot of
Errol Weber
Beach,
too. Errol Weber. Sorry.
Orange County people that watch, because we see that, and so we're happy to go to, because it's easy for us to go to local things. That's what we can do. So we're happy to bring you live streams from local things, and just let you know what we know about who's running and stuff, because all that stuff matters. It's time to check in. It's time to check into even local politics, your school boards, all that stuff. All that stuff has been infiltrated, and it needs to be taken
Speaking of
back
transparency,
by people that don't have an agenda.
Speaking of transparency, every school that falls, that's okay. Schools are huge monopolies. The monopoly of a lemonade stand. I call them lemonade stands because they just have money just poured into their coffers. I would love for school districts to come clean. Come clean, show everybody. And they go, yeah, we make it available. You don't make squat available. It's not easy for people to find, and I would love for you to come clean with your budgets, because by sheer location, the monopoly is there. It's an existing monopoly. The public school is a monopoly. Not only is it a monopoly, but is it an indoctrination center. Not only is it an indoctrination center, but it employs people that funnel money into campaigns, and these campaigns are for people who are going to vote favorably for policies that benefit the teachers, not necessarily the students. There's some rad teachers out there, by the way. I've had some amazing, amazing teachers throughout my lifetime in public schooling. Teachers that have inspired me, teachers that have taught me. I've had teachers that I couldn't care less. I'm the guy that if I didn't like you, I didn't like you. I'm like, whatever, what am I doing here? Plus if you had homework, I wasn't in homework. But there have been teachers that have been instrumental in how I conduct myself even today. Really, for reals. Okay, now, all that aside, they're indoctrination centers, the unions. Man, I've got nothing good to say about public schools, including the Model United Nations. that I love
know. We talked
teachers.
about that last
I know, but I'm done with all these programs. They're socialist programs. They're programs that are in our schools to turn our kids into social justice warriors. Yeah, that gets old. And it's rampant. It's rampant like the freaking virus.
And it starts in kindergarten.
What's up with CSE?
that's like-
If you live in California, what's up with California's sexual education? Guys, you
Not
guys
just
didn't
in
even
California, it's lots of states.
everywhere. And you didn't even give parents the opportunity to opt out of these things. You're forcing it upon them.
People don't understand that with the sex education that we're seeing, the disgusting sex education comes from the UN. The UN implemented it in a lot of third world countries before they brought it here. But that's why Trump needs to completely remove us from the UN. The UN is just, I mean, all these, everything, all these, I can't think of any good, it's really hard to think of things that are not corrupted. The UN is horrible. We need to be completely done with the UN.
I know it's not corrupted. The United States Marines. The
Right.
NSA. I believe the NSA is clean.
That's true.
Um,
Those are kind of the two things that we know for sure.
Army, no. Navy, no.
I know. It's funny when you research all these things, you find out so many of these really bad dudes are in the Navy. A lot of them. A lot of the ones that do like a lot of the experiment stuff.
What's
Mind
his name?
control are all Navy.
MK Ultra.
Yeah,
all those
it's a lot of
projects.
it's Navy. A lot of colonels in the Navy.
Okay. Well, I think we've said enough tonight.
Okay.
There's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about that we could have talked about.
We'll come back.
One more local thing, guys. If you're in Fountain Valley or Huntington Beach, there's a lady. There's a woman that I go in and I go to Subway occasionally and I buy food there, obviously. So I go in there and get my sandwiches. I've never gone in there with a mask. She told me that someone had come in there without a mask.
Wait, I have to explain. She's okay with you going in there without a mask.
Apologies. I always come like this in the
You
shop.
can tell
So
the story.
I've always
your whole
talked to
history
her.
with her.
Sorry, I've always gone into her Subway store, and I've when I get sandwiches there, we talk, we chit chat. Through this whole shutdown, she's always had CNN on, and she has two big, large TVs on the wall. She's always had CNN on there, and I said, first of all, you got to turn those things off. She turned them off for a while.
Wait, didn't she like try to reject you or business because you didn't have a mask?
The first time she, okay,
Yeah, you have to tell the whole story,
Oh
Brian.
man, I'm not a very
My
good storyteller.
gosh,
I
like,
know.
Nobody knows who
see?
this lady is.
That's what my
So you
wife.
have
See,
okay.
that's what
So
you
Brian
tell her.
has he's developed a relationship with her over the years, and then now the COVID thing comes and Brian shows up there without a mask, and she's like, even though they're friends, she's like, yeah, you have to wear a mask, and Brian's like, really? Like you don't want my business? Are you sure you don't want my business? And then I don't know, I wasn't there with you when that happened, but she basically was kind of laughed, right, and was like, of
Okay.
course I'm gonna serve
Yeah.
you still, like I
Yeah.
want your business, of course. But then you guys got to talking, and that's when you said, turn off your TV.
I said that's fake garbage that you have on the wall. She turned off both of her TVs, but I didn't know that she like airports has a contract with their franchise that when she signed up with Subway, they would install these TV sets if she took.
If she aired
If she
CNN.
aired CNN, so that's how they pay for it. Now that's built into her contract with the franchise when she as a franchisee.
That's crazy.
I did not know that.
That's
The thing is,
gross.
when she came in there, she says so. She has multiple people that come into her facility. She has 3 of them, I believe. And they come in there, and first of all, it can be somebody from corporate, somebody that from region that comes and checks up on the subways and makes sure they're doing all the promotions and that
Yeah.
they're doing everything properly. Somebody from the county health department can come in there. Somebody from the city can come in there. Code enforcement can come in there. Who is there? And then last but not least, if somebody complains, they can call the cops, and the cops can come in. What's going on? So she as a business owner is worried about all of these things coming down.
So she's been really cool to you, and
She's always
we
let me
go
know.
there all the time without masks, and she always serves us and doesn't care because she's cool and she's starting to understand.
So
So then what happened?
Today I go in and she goes, I gotta talk to you. And I go, she makes a sandwich. People are there. Afterward, I talked to her, and she goes, sorry. There's a guy that came into the store, and there was a woman that was standing in front of him. Everybody was social distancing. There was a line of people. The lady that was up front had her mask on, and it went below her nose to her chin while she was talking. From 6 feet away, the guy goes, "Excuse me, you have a lady up there that's not covering her face." The owner's telling me this today. So she puts it back up. And then it slides back down again while she's talking. Because she's, you're sitting there for 5 minutes explaining to somebody how you want your sandwich, So, and the guy, again,
A customer?
the customer that's standing in line, flames this lady again and goes, "Excuse me, she's not covering her face." Now, I might be
She
exaggerating.
had a mask, but it was just falling down,
Yes.
and he was freaking
He's
out
freaking
about
out on
it.
it. So,
Oh my God.
anyways, the guy went after the owner of the store. And she was like he was like, "Why are you not telling this woman that she has to put her mask on?" And then so that is where I am like, okay, I told her as a business owner, first of all, you have to know what the mandate in California is. The mandate by the governor is that kids under 2 years old don't have to wear one, and people that have health or medical conditions. Now, with that being said, they can't ask you what your health or medical condition is. That's against HIPAA laws. So it's like, don't even go there. But understanding the law is more important. Understanding the mandate. It's not even a law. But if you understand that, then you can say, and there's some people, okay, if it's the governor that's saying it, then you can say this is the medical condition that I have or whatever. If you quote unquote have a medical condition.
So he went after her in the community forum on Facebook, is what you're saying.
Afterwards, he went after the owner of the store. The owner of the store, she goes, "I didn't know what to do." And I go, "Well, first of all, you don't have to serve anybody you don't want to serve, okay? If this guy's creating a scene, and it's a scene that has to do with how you are serving people, if he's not comfortable with the way you're serving people, it's not for him to tell you how you're supposed to conduct your business. As a matter of fact, if you're that worried about it, get your A out of here, man. Hit the door, hit it." And I told her that. I said, so he left. He actually had, I think she made a sandwich and he left, and she goes, "Yeah." She started getting all these, like, people are saying that you're this and that, you're letting people coming in here. And I'm like, no, she's not.
People were giving her messages or something?
People are harassing her. I heard, but you know what? I said, okay, if you're in Huntington Beach or Fountain Valley, she's got a couple places. Hey, go frequent her place. She's a patriot. She's a business owner, and she's always been cool to me. As a matter of fact, she tried to turn off CNN. She said, "Yeah, corporate came in here and said you have to turn it back on. It's part of your lease or part of your franchise agreement." As a business owner, wow, that would be crazy to try to juggle all of those things because you're trying to make everybody happy. Even the Karens that are out there going, "Oh, bro, you're supposed to wear a mask." Even those people you're trying to make happy. And you can't make everybody happy all the time. But this is the thing, you have to know your rights as an owner. And it's like, if somebody's going to be sweating you like that and bringing that negative energy to your business, hit the door, dude. Get out of here. And that's the thing. It's like, you just got to, and you take your business. Not take your business, but you take your money with you. Leave. Get out of here. That's the way I felt. I am not a legal expert. This is faulty information. Take this with the caveat that I'm just like, I'm not even I'm just a wannabe. But yeah, this might get you thrown in jail. And watch out too, because the thing is what's more expensive? Is it more expensive to fight somebody who says you weren't social distancing or you weren't running your business with a proper 6 feet and mask, or the ADA lawsuit that's going to come if somebody says, "Oh, I do have an existing condition," or not an existing condition, "I do have a medical condition that prevents me from wearing a mask"? What's more expensive? Gotta weigh those odds.
Yep.
Attorney Barr's on our side. Attorney General Barr's on our side.
Donald Trump's on our side.
Donald Trump's on our side. So this is to the owner of the subway. You got put that flag up in your place, man. You got Donald Trump on your side. You're in good hands. You're in good
Hang
hands.
in there.
Hang in there. It's not much longer, guys. 3 months. 3 long months. And what are they trying to do? You see what they're trying to do with the fires. You see what they're going to try to do with the mask. It's not going to end. They are relentless. Be strong. Have a smile on your face. Laugh at what's going on because it's a show. You're watching a show. And make sure you have some really good butter popcorn, not that bad stuff. Get the good stuff that you can just sit there and just,
Just read between the lines when you heard Donald Trump speaking, and no, don't ever believe. Just always know there's more to the story. When whatever is being reported on the news, just go, aha, what could really be going on here? What is the purpose of this? What is the reason for this? There's always something.
Look at President Trump's tweets. I don't know. There's a couple people that we follow. A lot of accounts that we followed are ditching out, and they're being. You said IET 17 was gone today, huh?
He's suspended.
He's
Yeah.
suspended. Everybody's getting suspended. So, it's just us.
It's a
small people. We're the small people.
Small accounts matter. So small accounts keep posting and pushing. We're not deleted yet, and our voices matter, and they're important because all the big accounts are disappearing. Hopefully, I don't know what's happening, but we're trying to follow it, and we're trying to help those that don't have the time to look and read as much as we do, because that's just what we have found that we enjoy doing with our time all day long. So yeah, we'll try our best to just try to keep on top of everything and try to tell you what we think is going on. And we love those that come in here and share all the information that they are reading and add to the conversation.
There's a lot of cool researchers out there
There's a
that
lot
are
of
sharing
learning for
stuff
all
with
of
us.
us. A lot of the learning.
Anybody else I want to say? I do want to say hi to all the Patriots, all of our Patriot friends out there. I enjoy watching your videos, guys. We can't make it to everything. I wish we could, but in Southern California, when we can't make it, and I turn on anything live, YouTube, Facebook, I see my friends out there, and they are hitting it, and they are doing it hard, and they are hardcore. And I appreciate what you guys do, and I enjoy watching what you guys do. Keep up the hard and good work, guys, of sharing truth with others, especially here in Southern
And calling
California.
stupidity out. I mean, there's these people go out there and they protest this stuff. If nobody counters them, it's just there's no alternate point of view being presented. And so I think that you got to be out there. We've got to counter these people's narratives. We have to, because people are watching, people are paying attention, and especially when it is in a public place. It does matter. It does make a difference. There are a lot of eyes out there looking and learning. So yeah, get involved. Get involved, people. And yeah, do you want to say anything else? Well,
No more to say.
I don't know. When
I have
Trump
nothing
gives
to
numbers,
say.
compare the QPOS to the context he is giving. Yes, Tim. Every time he says a number, we look it up immediately.
Every time, okay, that's
Every
one thing.
time.
Anytime the president says a number, look it up in the
We always
QPOS
look
and
it up
find
in
out.
the QPOS.
I've seen markers lately. I've seen all kinds of stuff. So
When
yeah.
Trump gives numbers, compare the QPOS. Yep, we do that, Tim. So we're all that's what I
Tim,
love it.
Tim.
We're all thinking the same thing.
Tim, what's up, dude?
When he repeats something 3 times, like blindness in the eye, both eyes, blindness in both eyes, blindness in both eyes, I'm like, oh, he's talking to us. Or when he says, press conference at 5:30, enjoy.
And we did thoroughly.
Okay, President Trump, that's a trigger word for us. We know to pay attention. Woo. So I love the game, and I love to play the game with all of you guys. And thank you for Tim and Eve and AO, whoever else was here tonight, dropping stuff and helping us learn. Because it's a hive mind. We all have to contribute. You tell me something,
Sorry
and I
about
tell
that.
you something, and we all share information, and then we can make the big picture. We can unlock the map.
You know, but it's pretty cool when you learn something from someone else and you're like, wow, that's all I needed to learn that much more about a topic.
Then now you understand, or something now makes sense. You know.
Thank you guys.
Are we signing off?
I think so. Unless you got some funny story.
Anybody want to say anything before we sign off? Trump thinks in 5D chess. Yes,
Guys,
he does think in 5D chess. I've been thinking about that a lot lately too. Okay, perfect example was when he said, and I don't know for sure, but I'm just thinking when he said, you guys won't see me for a while. All of the Anons were immediately going, holy crap, that means something. And we were putting this message out saying, what does it mean? Where is it going? And I think he uses us as a tool to trick the deep state because disinformation is necessary. So maybe we are used by the white hats to spread these ideas. I think we are sometimes to spread these ideas because they know that the deep state is watching us to see what we think is going to happen. And then they make moves based on that analysis. So there's this, like you're saying, this 5D chess going on, and you have all these different players, and you have all the psychological operations. I mean, when you think about the psychology of the things Trump says or he does, or when he's standing in front of when he holds up the Bible in front of the church, like there's so many levels of
symbolism of communication.
And going on. I don't know. It's fun to allow yourself to think deeper like that, and it's getting above that, and a lot of the over analytical mind, and being able to see things in a more subconscious level, like, and not thinking it's crazy, but going, no, that means something. That means something. Those numbers mean something. That means something. Colors. Like everything has meaning.
What's amazing is how fast you learn. When those obstacles are removed from your learning, then you start looking like me right now with these glasses. You start looking like you know what you're talking about. I just noticed that. The glasses make me look like I know what I'm talking about.
Make you look smarter.
Yes. So I tell you what, guys, when you open up your mind and
I look less approachable with glasses on. I'm less approachable.
I think with these guys, I just look like, okay, my dad's from the island of Tonga. Tonga, as they say. Tonga. You know the island of Tonga? Oh, my dad, he's from the island of Tonga. And I've seen pictures of the king before, and he looks kind of like this, and he wears these thick glasses.
He does, actually.
But I think like most of like the old men, when I think of the old Polynesian men, I think it's the respect comes from the glasses. I think so.
Yeah, because you're wise, because you're wearing old man glasses. Those are for like old people. They want to wear.
I think I really am going to wear
so
these.
So that you can wear the glasses. Yeah, you gotta show.
I really do wear glasses. Oh wow. So, but because I don't have the ones that when you go out in the sun and they tint. I want those really bad because I was like,
they're so ugly.
Well, sometimes
Brian,
you're just like,
they're so ugly.
I know, but
you used to have them, and
I got these. Look at this. Look. These are so boss. Ho!
Oh my gosh.
So, Heidi doesn't know.
So sexy, Brian.
These work pretty good. Anyways, I feel like the king when I wear these.
Yeah, chilling with Q.
It's. I think that's the biggest part. That's one of the biggest parts of I guess discovering how you learn. I know I'm very slow. This is very stop.
Working really slow right now.
But it's discovery about yourself. It's self-discovery. Really, you're learning about yourself. When you learn about how you learn and how your ability to learn, when your ability to learn is quickened when you release all of the obstacles of the matrix of the past. When all this doubt that creeps into people's minds when you're learning, this is part of the Great Awakening. This is the Great Awakening, is your ability to learn, your ability to open up your mind to new things that you thought were not possible. I'm talking about free
and
energy.
letting go of what your previously conceived held beliefs.
Yes.
To be okay with gaining new information and going, okay, well maybe I was wrong about that, and being okay with that,
humility.
and being
you have to
humble
be
to
humble
go,
to do that
maybe,
too.
and then opening up from there, going, okay, well then maybe these other things, yeah, you just, and it's, I know it has to do with that. Well, I don't need to go down that rabbit hole. I can go down that rabbit hole another night.
But saying this is this has to do with everything with finding truth. On our journey, finding truth, you want it and you crave it and you want more and more and more.
That's how you know there's something there.
And if it's not, and if it doesn't taste good, and if there's something wrong, then you just like, this doesn't make sense, and you just don't go there. But if it continues to make sense,
Well, and that requires a little bit of faith. You have to go, okay, this is kind of weird, but let's say it is true. Let's go down, and that's what I, even when you, with your belief in God and Christianity, it's better to go, okay, let me live my life. Jordan Peterson actually said that. He's like, I live my life. I choose to. He doesn't ever say if he believes in God. He won't say it. He doesn't answer it like that. He lives my life. He goes, I live my life as if God is real, as if God does exist. Instead of which I thought was interesting way of doing it.
that would
But
make
I
him an
think that we
agnostic.
should.
He's an agnostic.
Is that what? I don't know. I think that's kind of what he says. But he's right in the sense that it makes more sense to live your life believing that God does exist, because if you just allow yourself to believe that, you will get an answer. You will see God in your life. You will see that God is real, but you have to let yourself.
I don't understand that. I still don't understand that.
You have to open yourself to believing instead of just doubting. You have to open yourself to going, you know what?
Well, you have to exercise faith in things.
That's what I mean.
Without
By
doubt, you have
faith.
to exercise faith. Not necessarily that you will see God, because people are going to be looking for God now.
I'm not seeing God
Would you just
literally.
Say that? Well,
No, seeing like the hand of God in your life.
Well, then you just be specific. I think that there's, I think, okay. I love reading. I love to read, but I think my ability to understand what I am reading has increased so many times over, because I don't want to say given into learning, but I have, it requires humility. Let me tell you, you have to be able to accept that you can be wrong. If you don't come to this table of learning with going, oh, I can't be wrong, or what, I mean, I'm a flat earther, for heaven's sake. I mean, to me, to wake up Heidi at 3:00 in the morning and go, I was like, Heidi, I can't believe I'm waking you up right now, but I cannot believe I've been up all night reading this. And Heidi, you looked at me and what did you say? Do you remember? Probably just laughed.
I said, okay, tell me more about it in the morning. Explain flat earth to me in the morning.
Okay. Yeah, you guys think I'm crazy, but half of you are like, wait, everything he said was good until you get there.
Tim
okay?
doesn't think you're crazy.
Oh, I know. Tim, dude, just between me and you, dude, I know, dude. The rest of them are nuts. Me and you, bro, with the rest of them, they're loco. Loco. No, but you have to be able to, and you have to be willing to examine things that you just didn't think were possible, okay? When you do that, then the impossible not only becomes possible, but you're given, I don't want to say,
Well, things become
You're given light.
clear. Like things start to like make sense, and like it's weird how it unlocking. It's just an unlocking of like there is a spiritual element to it, though. It really is
no.
like going above your analytical mind. It's like, well, come on, we're all taught that this is this, and how do you explain this? It's like, okay, let's go above that and think, because you have to go above.
I've heard
An
it.
area
Yeah,
of
you still need to
understanding.
exercise faith. You cannot get there without exercising
I
faith.
know flat Earth. Tim says flat Earth is all about faith.
But what's amazing though
Seeing things from
is
the
when you
spiritual.
step into the dark of this faith that is required. I promise you, you'll see more. You'll be like, oh my gosh, wow, this is not what I
See,
expected.
even Aaron Schwartz making fun of us. He says we're high because we think the Earth's
Okay.
flat. That's okay.
Okay, this
We're
is the way
just-
they stop.
We're just looking
this is,
at it.
This is coming from the guy who thought Q was a joke. Okay, you remember that, Mr. Aaron? You remember that? And now who's?
No, he never said Q was a joke. He never said that.
He
never said that.
He was like, yeah, your guys' little cute thing, whatever
No,
it is.
he never said that.
Well, hey,
He just,
Aaron,
yeah.
you can mock me all you want, bro. I'm coming to
No,
get you, dude.
Aaron, come on. You believe a lot of crazy things too.
No,
You-
no, he's legit. Whatever. I don't have
He
time.
thinks we went to the moon, though. That's the problem. He thinks that's the problem.
That's the problem, bro.
Is you don't know that NASA's a fraud. We got to talk about that, Aaron.
You've
Show
got
you
a
all
lot
the
to
evidence.
learn, man. You got a lot to
There's a
learn.
lot of evidence.
You're still in that NASA. You're still wearing that NASA.
And it doesn't mean that there's not, because I know you believe that there are civilizations or whatever on the dark side of the moon. I think that's what you said one time. Which, just because we didn't go to the moon doesn't mean that that's not true.
It wasn't just a Pink Floyd album, bro. I'm just kidding, bro.
Anyway, we love you, Aaron Schwartz.
Whatever.
We do love you.
Even though you're totally misguided when you think the Earth is a sphere. he's an
a round earther.
He's an Earth sphere. these crazy Earth spheres. Tim, what's up, Tim? You know what's up. You know what's up, Tim.
Oh,
You
you are so weird. But you can tune out if you think that's weird of us to talk about flat Earth. But
I know. We're not a freak show. You guys tuned into the freak show.
we're totally self-aware of how crazy that sounds.
Whatever.
We just, you don't know. Like when you read some of the things you read and they make you think about things you got to think about, and then
Okay,
you add,
this is for anybody who's listening for the first time who thinks I'm crazy, okay? This is what I saw. As a photographer, I can look through a long telephoto lens. When you look through a long telephoto lens, I saw one that was extremely, I don't know how long the lens was, but you could see forever. It was a clear day looking over one of the Great Lakes, and they were looking from Canada into, I believe it was Detroit, Michigan. You could see, from that distance, you could see cars that were on the ground. Now, if you look, and I've said this, you guys are sick of this. I'm sorry, YouTubers, but you're hearing it for the 10th time again about why I believe there's a flat Earth, is when you accommodate the curvature of the Earth, and you should see objects beginning to move. Beginning to disappear below the horizon line.
mathematically, the equation would suggest that you would.
Nope. They tried to say that the footage that was being collected was. They said, yeah, that lens, that was a mirage. The cars that you were seeing was a mirage. When I saw that, I looked at it and I go, okay, now how far is that? Where are they shooting from? I went and looked at it and I said, clearly things should start disappearing. You should not see a car from that distance. That's all it took. After that, I'm telling you the truth. Everything started opening up from man, the idea of men trying to pierce the firmament. trying to prove that God does not exist by saying, look, you constructed this and we just screwed it all up. You're garbage. You don't, and that's the purpose of what
Piercing
they're
the
trying, and
firmament.
trying to find the
Even the
God
symbol
particle,
of NASA.
even CERN, trying to find the God particle. All of these
Or
things.
the symbol of NASA. It's like the snake tongue piercing the firmament because that's like their goal. It's so symbolic, but that's what's the world runs on symbols. The world operates on symbols, and people don't know that. And that's just like another level of
So
consciousness. I don't. It sounds so crazy, but like once you kind of understand how powerful symbols are and how they are interweaved in our mind and in our culture and then people place them and they use them. Aaron, you know about what I'm talking about when I'm talking about symbols. You get that. Tim says the Bible says we see in part, so we can't go there. We are looking through the firmament. I'm not sure I know what that means. I'm not gonna lie. The Bible says we see in part, so we can't go there. We are looking through the firmament. So the firmament would be the dome. So we're seeing through. So we can't. Okay.
okay.
The God particle is let there be light. That God. I need to learn more, Tim. I need to talk to you. Because Tim is an expert on the biblical. Like Brian's gone down a lot of the rabbit holes with the scientific and the questions that.
What about the Bible,
can't
though?
be-
I talk about the Bible, too, man.
I know. I'm just saying that Tim talks a lot about the Bible
Okay.
and flat Earth.
La Biblia. We got to talk about La Biblia. Because that's going to be front center very soon. With the Vatican going down, how did we get La Biblia? And we also have, there's also the Council at Nicaea, the Nicene Creed. How did all of these things, now, again, going back to the Bible, how did we get La Biblia? From the Greek, we know how we got it, especially when it comes to the King James Version of the Bible. This is the problem. We all have the Bible because of the Catholic Church. Without the Catholic Church, we don't have the Bible. The Bible was written, was compiled. And people are like, well, if you were to ask everybody, like, where did we get the Bible? You're going to have 10 different answers. If I go to Barnes & Noble, and I go to the section that has Bibles, there's 800 Bibles over there. I don't know, I'm just making a number up. There's so many Bibles there. I pose the question to any Christian out there. Where did we get the Bible? We're going to have to reconcile very soon with the information that's in the Bible. And I'm not saying that I believe the Bible is the Word of God. I believe that I believe in the Savior, Jesus Christ. Without the Savior, we're nothing. We need the Savior. But wow, there's a lot of questions that need to be asked about, especially the origin of the Bible. I think the Vatican's sitting on a wealth. I mean, think about who ran Jerusalem in those times. The Romans were everywhere. The Romans ran everything in that part of the world. So it's like the Holy Roman Empire. You got.
Well, we're going to talk about that later.
I know, but there's a lot of questions that need to be asked, especially in these end games where you have Pope Francis, who's a Jesuit. I mean, all of these things. You got the white pope, the gray pope, the black pope. I mean, and what's the significance of all these popes in this end game that we're seeing? There's a lot of questions that need to be asked. Tim, we're going to be hanging out and talking more because you know tons. Now.
I can't wait to meet you, Tim.
Yes,
I feel like
you know tons.
I feel like we're going to meet someday.
And Usher and Eve and all of our friends that we talk to. Gosh, we learn.
Tim
I
says
learned.
the deep state is compromising the scriptures too, but they can't take away faith.
Nope.
You're right.
Amen to that.
Right. And the gospel of Jesus Christ is real, whether the Bible has been manipulated by the Catholic Church or not. It doesn't change
The Savior.
the Savior's
Role and
role
his
in our
purpose
life
here
and his
in
purpose
our
in
life.
our life. Of course, it does not change that at all. Or even, we'll see. we'll see what happens when all this. I can't wait to see what the Vatican is hiding. That's kind of something that's really exciting to me to see what comes out of
And
the
thank
Vatican
goodness,
and the
and
archives.
thank goodness, Q posts tons of scriptures from the Bible. He has brought a lot of researchers back, or not even back. He's brought people to Jesus
That's
Christ.
why I hate the whole Dylan Wheeler thing. When he talked about, like, it was so weird to me when he was saying like, oh, I felt like I was worshiping Q because I was just following Q, and more than I was following the scriptures.
You're weak,
Well,
man.
whose
You're
fault
weak, bro.
is that, dude?
Yeah, bro. Dude, why are you
That's
worshiping?
your fault. Why are you worshiping Q? None of us worship Q. We all understand
Oh, I feel like I'm reading Q more than the Bible.
who God is and who Jesus Christ is in their role versus who Donald Trump is. Nobody's getting it mixed up, and nobody's I don't know. That whole thing just bothered me so much. I just thought,
Dylan Wheeler,
That's
what
just
happened to you,
like-
bro? I don't even know, because you're a very good writer. I'll say this: you're a very good writer, and you've rocked a lot of people's worlds.
I don't know, but
Not mine.
no, not
To
mine
me-
at all. You're clearly confused.
Either you're
and-
confused or you're a shield. One or
and
the
it's
other.
your
One or the other, dude.
fault if you feel like you were putting Q above Jesus Christ
Wow,
and
bro.
God.
Mm-mm.
That's your deal. It has nothing to do with Q.
Jesus
does not-
Christ. Jesus
Q
Christ
does
is
not
Savior.
ask. The Q operation, whether you're religious or not and you follow it, doesn't matter. It really is about God because it's about light and dark, and it's about Satan. Like, ultimately, if you want to boil it down, it's really not very different from.
And God
the gospel
wins.
of
It even
Jesus
says that, and
Christ.
God wins too.
I mean, it really is kind of like you've got the scriptures, which shows you all the spiritual part of what's happening in the world, and you can go there for answers for your spiritual questions and things like that. Q is kind of talking about it's showing you what's going on in the world.
Not to be on the same level as the Bible. Not
It's
even.
not, I'm not putting it on the same level,
No.
but I'm telling you, the secular, kind of the secular of what's going on and how we
It's
can
secular.
understand.
Yeah.
Is that the right word?
Well,
Like the not like it's really
Okay,
about what's
okay.
going on in the world.
it's about evil. It's about good versus evil. Period.
Exactly.
Evil.
Light versus dark.
Light versus dark. I mean, it really becomes as simple as that.
It really does.
So, I don't know, dude.
So I just don't know how you got to this I can't promote Q anymore thing, because Q promotes light overcoming dark. Q talks about the scriptures and God and prayer and how to fight. Like, Q arms you with the knowledge that you need in order to see the evil in the world, because I don't know, apparently people were struggling to recognize evil right before them. And I mean, it's not all our fault. I mean, the deception was, we needed to be taught about the deception. We needed to be shown. We needed to be shown specific examples of the deception. The Bible's not showing us that this is this. It's really important that we can learn and see with our own eyes,
You know what?
so that we can share
Yeah.
that with everyone.
I want to talk. The next time we talk, maybe sooner than later, we'll see. But I want to talk about Jesus Christ. And we've said that. We want to discuss
Yeah. We'll talk about that.
what happened when Jesus Christ came to the earth and what he was considered and how people looked
That's
at
just a
him.
way to talk about it, though.
Okay, sorry.
Because I
Gotta
want to be
wait,
prepared.
gotta wait. Heidi's like,
Anyways, I just wanted to do a little bit more research on that before.
okay.
Anyway, I've been babbling. I don't know if I made sense. Really don't. Because I was just thinking.
Every time I get in an argument with Heidi, I always ask the same question. You're not making any sense, babe.
I don't know. So yeah, Brian really tries to push me to do these live streams. To be honest, like, it's really hard for
What?
me to. I'm just talking. Why are you saying what? I'm saying I like to do these, but then I don't like to do it.
She's not okay. No,
But
okay.
I'm really. I just anyway.
He said, she said.
I just don't
No,
know if I'm gonna know what to talk about or anything. But you
I don't
always.
push. I don't push Heidi. I don't push Heidi to do these.
Yeah,
Heidi
I'm-
agrees that she wants to do this, and at the very last minute, she bails out.
But
So
what I wanted to say, my point was, because I was talking and you cut me off. I had a thought. I was going somewhere. Anyway, Brian pushes me to exercise faith, and to just go live without really having a plan and just to talk.
I
And
know. I tell you to have a plan.
Brian, I'm trying to compliment you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say you say that we'll figure it out. Like it'll happen. It'll all work out. And I think it's like an element of faith that you try to push me to do it, even though I don't know what the heck I'm going to say or do, and I don't know if I made sense. But I think we talked about a lot of things, and I think we could check out now. And yeah, do you have something else to say? You're quiet. No.
You said it all.
Okay. Tim says, I will be glad to help with any research on the Bible. Awesome. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, whoever else is out there watching still.
I have no idea who's the final people who are actually listening to what we have to say, because you know what? We don't have anything to say.
We just tell you what we think's going on and what we're our somewhat educated guesses, but then we have people here to help us too. But we hope that we do speak from our heart, and hope that that's good enough. It's better than speaking from a script.
Or teleprompter.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Why do you seem sad?
I'm not sad.
You're like so low energy.
I was like,
usually you're like, all right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. And
you just snuffed me out right there. I was like, oh no, I was just like, I don't know what else to say. Like, you said it all. I'm just like, I don't know.
All right.
I'm not sad. That's for sure. I'm like, okay, whatever she said.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. And we'll see you again soon.